Happy Monday to the Take Two family. I'm Debbie Georgiani. Welcome to your show, Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. And hopefully you'll call in. We have the phone lines open, and we're going to introduce a topic today that I think we can all weigh in on and maybe share some great stories so we can learn and grow together. It's all about angel encounters today. Do you feel that possibly you had an angel encounter with something that happened in your life? Maybe there was an accident, a car accident or something of that nature, something that you just really feel like, wow, this is out of the ordinary what happened, and somebody showed up on the scene and I think it was an angel. Let's talk about it. This is the day to really share with the world and bring hope to the world. We're in this amazing Jubilee year of hope, and we want to keep the hope going by sharing these possible angel encounters. Now, it's not always an encounter with the angelic realm, but let's talk about it and see if we can really share some of these incredible stories that we have experienced. You know, every one of us has a story to share. We could all write a book if we really wanted to, because we've just with living, especially if you've lived, 20, 30, 40 years and you built up a ton of experience and wisdom, there's a lot to share. So think about it for a moment. You don't have to be Catholic to call in. You are very welcome here at Take Two, because you're part of the family if you're listening. And we're a live call-in show, very friendly. Matt Gabinski's at the on the phones, and he's ready to go to answer your call, and he'll welcome you, and he'll chat with you for a few minutes. He'll put you on hold. You'll get to listen live, and you'll slip right on air with us, and you'll be able to share your story with the world. Now, try to keep it to the, if you want to say the Cliff Notes version, the Reader's Digest version, if you're a little bit older like I am, something of that nature, just so that we can get as many calls in as possible to really make this a very well-rounded discussion on angel encounters. But that's our topic today. So Matt is, he's already answering calls right now. Look at you guys go. Boy, your Monday's starting off really, this is awesome. I love when we really take on Monday, the beginning of the week, and we really dive deeply into the topic. So this is very cool. Thanks for calling in. Let me give you the number if you want to jump in on the action. 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. Again, you don't have to be Catholic to call in. You're welcome here in the Take Two family. I'd love to hear if you think it's an angel that showed up on the scene. Definitely let's talk about it. I have studied angels for many, many years. I've been in religious education, and the topic of some of my presentations have been on angels. Even a lot of clergy attended some of the talks that I've given, and just because I did a deep dive into angels for many years, and I am very devoted to the holy angels, and so I'd love to be able to share some of what I've learned and what I can from the hundreds and hundreds of stories that I have read, and people have, called me up and shared their stories. There's certain very clear indicators that it could possibly be an angel. So we can talk about it as you share your story, but this will be a cool conversation. I love starting off the week like this. I know that Michael McCall, our producer, he's excited to learn something as well. We said that right before we started the show. We're looking forward to these angel stories. And then we've got Rich Jesse on social media. So the chat's on YouTube going strong. Thanks, you guys, keeping the chats going there. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to be back waving to you on video. My second surgery on my eye is January 23rd. So, and I am making, I'm healing pretty quickly. So that's good. And I just can't wait to be back with the Take Two family. But I mean, on video, I am here, and the voice is hanging in there, going strong. And by the way, there are a lot of people that have been contacting me saying they are very ill with the flu and other things that are going on, respiratory and different things that they're battling. Please, we've got to pray for each other big time. And please, I know that we're praying continuously around the clock for the folks in California and the firefighters that have flown in from I think 7 or 8 different states. I know Arizona is one of them that went to California and is trying to fight the fires. There's so much going on. The winds are picking up again. I think at the beginning of this week it's going to die down a little bit by the end of the week. We've got to just pray that the right people are there fighting the fires, that everybody's safe, that food is getting to people, shelter, the money's getting to the people so they can relocate or whatever they need to do. It's so sad to watch the video footage of this. I can't even imagine what it's like to actually be there on the ground and seeing this happen into their beautiful cities. So, of course, we're praying for them. But if there's something you can do, prayer is so important, because remember, the angels, you can pray to your guardian angel to go to their guardian angel. There's a guardian angel over cities. It's Los Angeles, right? There's a guardian angel over cities, over the state. So pray to the angels to ask them to really step in and help, definitely. But the number to dial right now on Angel Encounters is 833 288 EWTN. If you want to share a story that you think that, I think it was an angel. I can share so many in the years that I've been studying angels. It's very interesting when you really start to have a strong devotion to the holy angels. You'll see you'll just be able to pinpoint and pick up on when it really is an angel encounter. It's not, you don't want to converse or communicate in that way, like trying to get the angels to show themselves or to prove themselves. That is not cool at all. It is not good to do that with God at all. You really want to respect that they have a mission and let them do their work. But oftentimes you will be able to pick up that it's something very extraordinary that has happened, and that's pretty incredible. But we're talking angel encounters today, and I'd love to hear from you. So please, if you feel prompted by the Spirit to share a story, now's the time to do it, because this is where the faithful come together and share with the world. Remember, this is a worldwide platform here on Take Two. It's been going strong for 9.5 years because of your calls. So just blow up those phone lines with some really great angel stories so people can believe again and have hope again and trust God again and know that God has a plan, right? Very important. Number to dial, 833-288-EWTN. That's 833-288-3986. And when I come back, I'll be getting to the calls that Matt is screening right now. Michael, again, is at the controls. Rich is going to be picking up the social media comments, and this is going to be a great discussion all about the angels. I'll be right back.
He was an Eastern monk, a priest, a theologian, and a doctor of the church.
Matthew Bunson and the Doctors of the Church.
Despite being a Christian, St. John Damascene was a respected government official of the Muslim Umayyad Caliphate in Damascus, but he gave it up for the life of a monk and left behind a large legacy of theological writings. He was declared a doctor of the church in 1890.
To find out more about the Doctors of the Church, visit EWTN.com and click on Catholicism.
Are you facing a crisis in life? Are you feeling stuck and unable to see your way out of your current situation? You just might need a fresh perspective, and we are here to assist. That's what life coaching is all about, sticking to a plan and creating new habits for a better life, all with God at the center. Look into a completely free consultation today at standtalltoday.com. We have a team of life coaches ready to help you get excited about life again at standtalltoday.com.
Hi, this is Father Mike Schmitz. Please join me for Ascension's Bible in a Year and Catechism in a Year here on EWTN Radio. We're going through the entire Bible and the Catechism in 365 days. If you've ever wanted to understand what it means to be Catholic and allow those truths to shape your life, this is for you.
Bible in a Year and Catechism in a Year with Father Mike Schmitz, tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on EWTN Radio.
We're talking angel encounters today on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. I really would appreciate your call if you have a story to share with the world, so you can build confidence in God, because the world is telling us one thing and it's all lies. It's saying, oh, you don't need God, you can do this all yourself, all this kind of nonsense. That's a lie. It's not true. God is very active, and I'd love to hear your story. Vivian, we're going to get to you first. Hold on. Don't go anywhere, Vivian. I want to share this with our listeners. It's the 11th annual One Life LA, Saturday night at 5 p.m. Eastern on EWTN television and radio. Archbishop Gomez heads a list of leading pro-life speakers at the 11th One Life LA March, promoting the dignity of human life by uniting communities and inspiring positive action. So please check that out, folks. Don't forget. Okay, if you'd like to dial in and share your angel encounter, or you think it's an angel, let's talk about it. 833-288-3986. And that's exactly what Vivian did from Plano, Texas, listening on our friends at Guadalupe Radio Network. Hi, Vivian. Welcome back to the program.
Hi, Debbie. Anyway, first of all, ask how your eyes are. Have you done the surgery yet?
I did the first surgery, last week, and then the next one is the 23rd. And I so appreciate the prayers. Thank you so much. I'm healing nicely. It's slow. I'm older. I'm almost 60, so it's a little bit of slow healing, but I'm getting there.
Okay, the angel is with you too. Well, anyway, I just want to share this. I think I had called when this is just so touchy to me. As I'm speaking to you right now, I was on my way to my parish. I had an accident on December 26th after celebrating the birthday of my Lord and Savior. This was a head-on collision, head-on in the middle of the night. I came out of the street, and my GPS said make a left. I just made that left turn, not knowing it was on a one-way. Here I was, like I've never experienced this in my life, that I'm still here right now, thinking about my 5 grandchildren, my 3 children. How I don't know how to explain this. When the accident happened and the explosion, the airbags, but all I know, I always have rosaries in my car, and on my rear view mirror I have my rosary. But I have a pin that's my St. Michael the Archangel. I pray that all the time, defend us in battle. Right now, I don't know where that pin is because my car is totaled, but I know I'm going to find one to replace that pin. But when you said angel, even when the police officers came on the scene, all I knew was the explosion, my chest was set. I just, God. So I narrowly came out of the car couldn't open, but I find a way out. Even the officer was like, how did you get out? This day, baby, I can't explain that accident. I'm still shaking, but I tell people the accident, but I'm telling myself, I'm manifesting God more. The more I tell the story about my accident, I'm telling people how great God is in my life, how magnificent He is in my life.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
When you just said angel encounter, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know Christian born nothing. I've been a single mom all these years raising my kids, and just December 26th, I'm just sharing tears. The tears of just being alive and just the tears of God.
Vivian, this just happened December 26th, okay? So it's so recent, and a head-on collision is very, oh my goodness, that's like everybody's biggest fear, right? And you have such a strong faith in God and His angels and saints. And Vivian, yes, as you're sharing your story, it's you there's a part of it that you're reliving it again, but you're doing it for the purpose of helping all of us to truly believe that God is present and God is active and God cares. And there's a reason you're still with us. There's a reason for all of us, actually, but there's a reason you're still with us. And so it's so important that you keep telling your story for yourself, but for everyone else that has the opportunity to receive that type of grace and understanding and enlightenment by listening to what you've been through. Because there's a lot of fear out there. And if we don't replace that fear with a true sense of faith, you're just going to see a lot of people paralyzed and never being able to move past anything because the fear overwhelms and it paralyzes people. It really does. It keeps people very much stuck. So Vivian, I thank you. I thank you so much for sharing with such a boldness, such a strength, such a confidence, such a conviction, your story. And I'm so grateful to God that you're here sharing it with us today. You're a beautiful soul, Vivian. I love every time you call Take Two. So thank you.
Baby, and the angels are with you too with your eye surgery.
Well, Vivian, I got to tell you something. I could take up the whole show with how the angels have helped me this past 8 months with the eye. You're absolutely spot on. Thank you for tapping into that and recognizing that. I could not have done it without the angelic help. I just couldn't have. It was too hard. It was very overwhelming. My husband was doing everything he could. I was trying, and the angels definitely stepped in. So thank you, Vivian, for acknowledging that. God bless you. What an incredible story. We're going to stay in Texas, okay? Because we just visited a Vivian in Plano, Texas. Now we're going to move over to Houston, Texas, where Eric on Guadalupe Radio Network is waiting so patiently to share his story. Hi, Eric.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. All right, give me 1 second. Okay. Lines up? Okay. All right, so what happened was I was on my way to work, and my car suddenly broke down, and it was kind of, I could press the pedal, but I couldn't get it to move forward more than like a very slow speed, so I had to pull over for safety. Left my car there on the side of the road at a place where it was relatively safe, went to work. At the end of the shift, kind of late at night, my boss drove me back to my car. Oh, man. And he dropped me off and went to my car, got inside the car. I couldn't go anywhere, really, because it wouldn't work. I opened up a Catholic Bible on my lap, and I was reading, I think, out of the Psalms, and I was reading some, it was comforting, and I just fell asleep, maybe a few minutes. And when I woke up, I heard this woman's voice to my left behind me, because the door was open. I left the door open while I was reading. Mm-hmm. And she was saying, sir, are you okay? Are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. I said, all right, I just want to make sure you're okay. And she started talking to me some. She was kind of tall, very beautiful, like strikingly beautiful, strong presence, very charismatic, had a lot of authority about her. And I asked her at one point, I said, do you work in this area? She said, no. I said, okay. She said, no, I was just concerned about you, and I just want to make sure you're okay. And do you have someone you can call tonight? And I said, yes, I do. She said, okay. All right, that's all. I hope have a good night. And she left it into a car, and the car drove away. And I never saw her again. And at the time, I was like, wow, that was very mysterious. And the next day, I kept thinking about it, kind of prayerfully reflecting. I was like, oh, my goodness. I think that was an angel. Right. And it hit me. And it was like, I think that was my guardian angel, for real.
Yeah. Okay. So a couple things that you said that stick out for me as kind of a clear neon sign that it could potentially be an angelic encounter. You said that the voice was a voice of authority, correct?
Very authoritative. Oh, yeah. She had absolute confidence. She was on a mission to help me. Yeah.
Exactly. And you've never seen this person before, and this person
never before and not since.
Okay.
Not
and
since.
they didn't want to go have a cup of coffee with you. They didn't want to leave their name or number.
Nope.
No, they didn't.
She didn't tell me her name, nothing like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Peter Kraft does a beautiful job in his book, Angels and Demons. And he talks about how angels manifest because, they don't have bodies, right? So they're not male or female. And so it's like they're putting on a costume, right? So when they manifest. So that's why you'll see an angel that'll show up on the scene as maybe even a little elderly woman of 80 years old. And they'll show up on the scene and then just walk away. Or like you said, a strikingly beautiful woman or a man. Sometimes people have said that it looks like the person just is real casual, very laid back with a little bit of a beard and just shows up on the scene and leaves. They can manifest by what Peter Kraft says, like putting on a costume. I think that's a really good way to describe it. So, if I was in your position and I experienced that, I would think it was an angel. Yes, absolutely. Isn't that beautiful? Doesn't that comfort you?
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Amazing.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
This Bible, it's a very rare Bible. It's a full Catholic Bible that's Latin and English side by side. The English is the Dewey Rains translation. The Latin is the Latin Vulgate.
Oh,
and
nice.
It's like thick black and gold. My parents got it for me for Christmas, and I swear it is a sacramental. Like, there is a power to this Bible that is like, maybe it was blessed by a bunch of priests or something, or by a specific priest. I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, there's a blessing like attached to the Bible for sure.
Well, yeah, and it's a living word of God. And so on the Bible translation, so depending on which translation, so Psalm 91 is God's protection, where it shows the angels right in the middle of the Psalm, or Psalm 90 on the version that you're looking at. And that's very powerful too. You should probably mark that, because since you have had that, we believe, an encounter with your angel, which is so beautiful. I love the way she showed up on the scene and she asked you, "Are you okay?" You know, she was just making sure you were okay, which tells me that I guess maybe if you had not had that, maybe would you have fallen asleep, or like what changed? I'm curious of what you did differently after she.
Alberger, I didn't have any money for food or anything. And someone saw that Bible, they gave me money for food. They're like, "Hey, we're Christians too. You want money? You want something to eat?" I said, "Sure." And then I met this guy named Tom, who's a strong, devout Christian, and we connected and we traded phone numbers. And later he came to my restaurant and gave me like some cash tips and stuff the following week.
Wow.
That was right after I had this angelic encounter.
Wow. Well, it's pretty awesome. I mean, I hope you continue to develop your relationship with your guardian angel. I personally, you don't have to do what I do, but I personally say the guardian angel prayer in the morning, and I thank my guardian angel at night. I do meditate on Psalm 91, like I said, Psalm 90 in the translation you're using. But I do, because when you acknowledge that they have a mission, and especially you, Eric, having this encounter, when you know that it's for real, you bring glory to God when we acknowledge that they do have a mission, and the mission is for us to get to heaven. So pretty awesome. Eric, that is such a cool story. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. God bless you. Thank you. Okay, we're going to move to Florida. Excuse me, now I'm getting under the weather again. Virginia, in Palmetto, Florida, on Divine Mercy Radio. Welcome to the program, Virginia. Tell us your angel story.
Thank you for having me on the radio. Several years ago, I was going to a meeting. My mother and I were going to a meeting very, very early in the morning. We were going from New York to New Jersey on the Palisades Parkway. And the Palisades Parkway is a 2-lane parkway. And it has curves, it's windy, and so what happened was I was driving, and it was very, very early in the morning, and my mother was beside me, and all of a sudden, in my rearview mirror, I saw a red sports car. And I was watching. It was weaving all over the place. It looked like someone should have gotten a DUI. And I just looked, and then it would speed up and it would slow down. Well, when it speeded up this time, it didn't slow down. And I said, "Mom, hold on. We're going to get hit." And all of a sudden I said, "Holy Father, please surround this car with angels and help us." All of a sudden I looked in my rearview mirror again, and there was like this fuzzy looking, like, I don't know, I couldn't explain it, like a barrier. And then whoever was behind us sped up, went around us, and then disappeared. Not disappeared, but drove quickly and was gone away.
Right. Wow.
And I guess God answered us right away.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If we could see the network of protection that they are providing us by over the freeways and over the way we conduct business and everything, we would be amazed. All you have to do, actually, there's a lot of conversation about the LA fires. Look at an LA freeway. Can you imagine all the angels working to keep everybody safe on the freeway? And that's exactly what you're sharing today about this encounter with being on a very difficult highway. It's amazing what they're able to do, what they're willing to do to keep God's plan moving forward. And if we enter into in cooperation, their mission that God wants for us to continue our life and be on purpose, then absolutely. They engage fully, and we see that. It's really quite amazing. Virginia, I'm so glad you're with us. Thank you for sharing your story. God bless you. You hear the music. We're going to take that quick break. When we come back, we're going to go back to Texas. Anthony's waiting there to tell his angel story, and the others too. You can join in 833-288-3986.
This is Cy Kellett. We're here to take your calls on apologetics and evangelization on Catholic Answers Live. Tonight, 6 Eastern on EWTN Radio.
How many times have you heard someone say that they don't like the Catholic Church because it's so dogmatic? Well, G.K. Chesterton says you cannot live without dogmas. You cannot act for 24 hours without making a decision based on some deeply held belief that you cannot prove. Trees have no dogmas. Turnips are singularly broad-minded. In truth, there's only two kinds of people: those who accept dogmas and know it, and those who accept dogmas and don't know it. So when someone objects to the Catholic Church for being too dogmatic, it only means that they are dogmatic against it, even though they have no idea what their own dogmas are.
Spend more time with the Apostle of Common Sense. Visit chesterton.org for more information and go to EWTNRC.com to discover more books and programs written and inspired by G.K. Chesterton.
Want to be notified when Take Two with Jerry and Debbie goes live on Facebook? Follow EWTN Radio's Facebook page and click the bell icon to be notified.
Your favorite EWTN radio programs are all over social media. All your favorite programs are available right now. Check us out on Instagram. Just search for EWTN Radio. Remember, EWTN is everywhere.
This is EWTN Catholic Radio.
Matt Swaim here. Tomorrow on the Sunrise Morning Show, we'll reflect on the Office of Readings with Chris McGregor from Discerning Hearts, plus news, weather, sports, and a whole lot more. Now back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
We're talking angel encounters today on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. You can still jump in if you have something to share, 833-288-3986. I just want to go back. We're going to get to Anthony in Texas in just a moment. I want to shout out and congratulate another station in just a moment. But I want to go back to Virginia's call real quickly. Just at the end of the call, something just really hit me deeply. It's so important when we're driving, especially, or when we are in a situation where there could be a potential for an accident or something of that nature, to really a lot of people do pray the rosary. A lot do have the sacramentals in their cars. That's very important. I know a lot of nuns, a lot of sisters, religious sisters, that before they get into a car, they ask their angels to surround their car. They ask their angels to help move the freeway and the roads, in a right manner, so that it's to prevent any accidents. It's important we take that time. Now, is it always going to happen where we're going to have a perfect ride? No. Remember, if it's God's will, or something happens with somebody's free will and bad choices of that nature, then there's consequences to that. But I can tell you that when we put our trust in God, when God has a mission for these angels, and the mission is us, to get us to heaven, and we participate, we cooperate with that, you will see a heightened level of activity of the angels, a heightened. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. Please don't quote me on that. Don't say Debbie said everything's going to be perfect if I believe in the angels. I'm just saying you're going to see a heightened, they engage more. Okay, and that's why I've always said it from the very beginning. The more we say the guardian angel prayer, or we meditate on Psalm 91, most translations of the Bible, that it's important because we're acknowledging we're acknowledging what God has set forth, what God's plan is. So I just wanted to make that like crystal clear, because people always ask, well, how do we know when it's an angel encounter? You know, can I get the angels to be more active in my life? Well, you gotta really go along with God's plan on that. I'm going to get to Anthony in just a second. Let me just share this. We'd like to welcome the newest member of the EWTN family. It's Iowa Catholic Radio's newest signal, KCSL 89.9 FM. They're broadcasting from Spencer, Iowa, serving the Iowa Great Lakes area, as well as a portion of southern Minnesota. Congratulations to Matt Wilcom and the great team at Iowa Catholic Radio from your friends here at EWTN. Okay, we're going back to Texas. Texas has got a lot of angel stories. On the iHeart Radio app, Anthony's waiting so patiently. Hi, Anthony. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you for having me on. So my story involves a dream I had of Our Lady of Guadalupe. I'm definitely not somebody that looks for signs in every little thing, you know. But this was very profound to me, and I believe it was Our Lady speaking to me. So I was going to celebrate First Saturday Mass. This was back in September. I was feeling very down on myself. I was having troubles with some friends and kind of a falling out. And then I was also very overwhelmed with work. And I woke up in the middle of the night. This was Friday night, Saturday morning, around 2 o'clock in the morning. And just feeling very down about myself, because I'm like, I got to go to confession again, repeat the same sins to the Father and everything like that. I go, you know what, I'm going to skip First Saturday. I'm going to try and get some rest, and I'm going to try and get some work done. I'll make it to next First Saturday. Well, at some point in time, I fell back asleep. I woke up, and it was like a TV turning on, and I just see a picture of my home parish, of my hometown. It's actually Our Lady of Guadalupe is the name of the church, and there was a Eucharistic procession. And I could see everything very vividly. I could see the priest holding the monstrous up in the air with a host. And then the next picture I see is of a friend of mine that I became very close with last year. It was her and her boyfriend. Why them two, I'm not entirely too sure. I know that they don't really have any faith. I believe they're both atheists. The next image I see is of my friend, and she's doing a paint by numbers. And this paint by numbers is a paint by numbers of Our Lady of Guadalupe. It was clear as day that it was of Our Lady of Guadalupe, but it was a little bit strange. She appeared almost like a skeleton form. Now, it wasn't scary. It did feel like Our Lady, but for some reason it just appeared that way. And I woke up. And when I woke up, I knew I could make it to Mass on time. The only thing, I didn't really even think about the dream. I just thought, I got to make it to Mass. I got to make it to First Saturday. I went, made it to Mass right on time, made my confession right before Mass, attended Mass. And I didn't know this was on September 8th. Not September 8th, I'm sorry, September 7th, which was the day that we celebrated the Virgin Mary's birthday, which I didn't know that was that day. I'm like, oh, wow, how profound. I had a dream about Our Lady of Guadalupe, and it's the Virgin Mary's birthday today. Attend Mass. Everything went great the rest of the day. Later on that week, I saw these two particular individuals that I dreamt about, my friend that was doing the paint by numbers and her boyfriend. While having small talk, I asked, hey, what are y'all doing this weekend? And my friend, the one that was doing the paint by numbers, she goes, I'm working on an art project. And I said, okay. I was like, that's pretty cool. She goes, well, it's not really an art project. It's a paint by numbers that my boyfriend got me.
Oh, stop. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
It's actually pretty cool. It's a paint by numbers. It's a skeleton. And that just stopped me in my tracks. I didn't share that story, and I still haven't shared that story with her, but I don't believe that's a coincidence. For her to say it's a paint by numbers, and it's a paint by numbers of a skeleton, and my dream was Our Lady of Guadalupe, but kind of like a skeleton form.
Right.
One of the things I'm like, I had to speak to somebody about it, so I spoke to a coworker who we share our faith a lot, and she let me tell my story just how you're letting me tell the story right now. And as soon as I finished, the first thing she told me, she goes, "Anthony, I think you're the only person that prays for her."
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's, I know, I'm not saying I'm the only person that prays for her, but I know it's true that I do pray for her a lot. I believe that she's experiencing a lot of things right now, and I feel like God is calling me to pray for her, but this was just more of a definitive, hey, you need to stop feeling down about yourself, continue to pursue your faith, go to Mass, go to confession, do everything you can, because our prayers are far-reaching. So that's my story.
And you're sticking to it. You can't make this up, Anthony. I agree with you. Anthony, your coworker, I want to confirm what your coworker said when you shared about having these individuals in this encounter that you had in the middle of the night when you woke up, or seeing them on the screen there. Yes, to pray for them. Absolutely. Nothing is done by accident with the Lord. There's a reason. We're not ever going to know exactly why it was at that particular time or what God was expecting of us. But I can tell you that prayer works, and as I'm saying it right now, I could feel the Holy Spirit. So I want to confirm what your coworker said. I would pray for that individual with the paint by numbers and the other two that you saw in that middle of the night. And you're calling it a dream, but it sounds like you were alert through it. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It was very, very vivid. And it was just my friend and her boyfriend. So those are the only two individuals in that dream.
Okay, so you want to pray for both? Both. Okay, definitely pray for them, and we should do that anyway when we have these types of situations in the middle of the night. Now, the reason why I said were you alert, because I know that Saint Joseph, the angel appeared to him in a dream and stuff. You have one thing that I learned when I was studying angels, is that it's not like the dream. If you're having an actual dream and the sequence of your dreaming and all your imagination and your mind playing in and whatever you thought about the night before and that kind of dream, when there's a quote unquote like dream-like feeling, you're alert and you're pretty much awake. So it usually happens in the middle of the night, but people are awake, and so they'll say it came to me in a dream, but it really isn't. It's more of you're being woken up, and this message is being shared. Would you say that is more accurate, Anthony?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Then I would say definitely that's me personally. I just based on what I've studied. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. The thing that really got me going with your story is you said that when you went to sleep, you were feeling pretty down. And the good Lord does not want us to feel that way. And remember, because the demons want us to fall into despair. They hate us so much. They want us to give up. And so the good Lord, I believe, gave you a very powerful encounter for it to build your spiritual confidence. Would you say that that's what it's done? That's the result of it?
Yes.
Awesome. That's so cool. I love that. I'm so glad you shared it with us. I think it's so important. May I ask you, you don't have to give me your exact age, just age range. I'm just curious.
I'm 35.
Okay, yeah, you're young. I can say that. I'm a grandmother, so you're young. Yeah, that's awesome. That is so awesome. I hope and pray you continue to stay close to your guardian angel and all of the angels and saints, because they're there to help us and to guard us and guide us and to get us back home in just a beautiful way with this adventure, this thing called life. So, Anthony, thank you so much for sharing with us today. Great story. And tell your coworker, I think they're spot on with the feedback that they gave you. Wow. Fabulous. Okay, let's go to Patty. Patty's waiting so patiently. Everybody's waiting so patiently. You guys, okay, all of you get the Patience Award today. Every one of you. Patty in Iowa at Siouxland Catholic Radio. Hi, Patty. Tell us your story.
Okay, I have a couple incidents where I really feel that my guardian angel was looking over me. I also feel like Jesus was involved too. The first one, I was driving our old antique car out for a Sunday drive, and a man, I think it was a farmer, pulled out right in front of me. And I had to swerve around him. And at that point, I just said, Jesus, take the wheel. And he did. He got me around the truck. I didn't go into the ditch. I was able to get around it and pull over by the side of the road. And that still, it's in my memory. The other one happened 21 months ago. I still get really emotional. I had a brain tumor removed. It was discovered by accident. I had a friend whose husband had been diagnosed 2 weeks before me, and we lost him in November. And so I have felt my guardian angel watching over me every day. My brain does not work quite like it used to, and that's hard to get used to. But I try to pray the chapel of St. Michael every day. I try to do the guardian angel prayer every day, at least once. Once you get into angels, I think you do feel them more. Somebody once told me that during Eucharist, and probably the whole Mass, but all the angels are standing behind the priest. And there's so many times that I see them, and I feel my friend who passed away several years ago, and the more I focus on that, the easier it is to really get into the Mass. And, all the changes in the last 20 months really have brought me closer to God.
Beautiful. So, Patty, I wasn't going to share this, but I just feel prompted by the Spirit because Michael, my producer, said, Debbie, if you feel prompted by the Spirit, go for it. So, Patty, I'm going to share this because you said something that I just think it can really help you and others that are listening. So, first, I want to say you said you recall that it was Jesus or Jesus and the angels or both. Okay, one thing that I want to just make kind of clear for everyone who's listening right now, the angels, they're Christ's angels, okay? They're Christ's angels, and they're beholding the face of God and ministering to us at the same time. So everything is a direct connection from God. So it's all coming directly like that. So we don't have to feel like, oh, well, do I go to my angel or do I go to Jesus? You go to Jesus, and if Jesus wants to send his angels to help, he's going to send his angels. So it's a beautiful thing. Everybody works. They know how to work in cooperation and in doing the will of God. So that's a beautiful thing, Patty. But I wanted to share this. You said you went through this brain situation, and you feel like it's. I think you stated like your brain's not working the way it used to. So I want to share something with you because I think this could help. Padre Pio. Everybody knows that Padre Pio tapped all of his guardian angel, and then people have said because he had a big mission in life, he had more than one guardian angel. He had a lot of angels, and we have heard stories that they would translate for him in different languages. They'd write letters. They'd get the letters to the people, everything. So they were basically doing a ton of work with Padre Pio. And then others would say, well, you got to understand, Padre Pio had a big mission. He was doing the will of God. He was in a state of grace. He just was a really advanced saint. And that is true. But let's take that down for the rest of us, okay? We all have a guardian angel. So, Patty, you have a guardian angel beside you that is handpicked by God himself just for you. And you mentioned yourself that you have this situation where you said your brain's not working like it used to. I would just encourage you to continue like you're doing your relationship with your guardian angel. And I would be bold and ask your guardian angel to help you in the situations where maybe your brain is not reacting as quick as you want it to, or recall or something of that nature, and ask your guardian angel to step in and help you with this journey of life. And why do I say that, Patty? Because 8 months ago, when my eyesight declined rapidly, and I mean rapidly, and I was at the point when the first surgery took place, I was absolutely blind in both eyes. I asked my guardian angel to please help me navigate my surroundings so I could just make it through the day and be able to get the essential things done, like brushing my teeth, those kinds of things. And I have to tell you, Patty, my guardian angel stepped in royally, stepped in amazingly well. And I just believe that our guardian angels, all of us, every one of us who have a guardian angel, we all have a guardian angel. If we do make that effort, we do acknowledge that they have a mission. If we do work hard to try and get in a state of grace, stay in a state of grace as long as possible, that connection is there. So, Patty, I'm sure you've thought of that already, but I just wanted to affirm for you to continue to go in that direction with your partnership with your guardian angel.
And I do. I retired in September. I was teaching Title I reading and math. Mm-hmm. And I really wanted 2 more years, but I'd gone to Medjugorje this summer, and I really feel God told me it was time to retire. But I went back to finish the school year after my brain tumor. It was 3 weeks. I do not remember a thing. And I know my guardian angel was the one doing the teaching and the talking.
I believe it.
I don't remember any of it.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Because I've experienced it too in a different way, and I totally believe it. That's how much they want to help us and assist us. Patty, I think your story is so deep, and we needed to hear it today. And I put you in the prayer book. We wish for you continued good health and strength. And I love that you shared it, your story about your guardian angel in such a strong way. So thank you, Patty, for standing up today and doing that.
Thank you for a great topic, and thank you for being there.
Oh, thank you. Call us anytime, please. Okay, we're going to go to Marianne in San Antonio, Texas. Marianne, hold on. Don't go anywhere. I want to just share with our listeners, Call to Communion with Dr. David Anders. What's stopping you from becoming a Catholic? Dr. David Anders has the answers. Dr. David Anders is one of those fine people. He is such a humble man, and that man is brilliant. And so I encourage everyone to tune in weekday afternoons, 2 Eastern, and it encores in the evenings at 11 Eastern on EWTN Radio. Okay, Marianne, in San Antonio, Texas. Look at Texas go on Guadalupe Radio Network. Welcome to the program. Marianne, take it away. Marianne, are you with us? Oh, Marianne, you've been waiting. Oh, maybe. Okay. We're going to have Matt check to see, because Marianne's been waiting. In the meantime, let's go to Mike in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on Holy Spirit Radio. Hi, Mike. Welcome. Hello, Mike. Okay. I can hear Mike. I don't know if you... Mike, go ahead. Go right ahead. Oh. Okay, let's have Matt check on Mike, because I couldn't hear Mike. And we'll go to Rose, a first-time listener caller in Illinois on YouTube. Rose, tell us your story.
Yes. Good afternoon. I caught you by accident. I was trying to get onto a site to watch the funeral of one of my son's best friends from the military. His wife passed last week. And I found you, and I started listening, and I was like, oh my God, maybe I was supposed to be listening to this.
Yeah,
and I wanted to share because you had shared the 91st Psalm, and both my sons were military, and one of them, I told him before he went to war to say the 91st Psalm, and God would keep him protected. And one time he called me from there, and he says, Mom, I'm going to share something with you, but don't think I'm crazy. He says, because I know things sometimes before they happen. Mm-hmm. And so I shared with him, I says, well, those are your angels. I says, you're praying the 91st Psalm, and that's what's happening. I says, you're being allowed to know information and to keep you protected. And one of the reasons that you really caught my attention was the fact that it's a Catholic station that you have, correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was raised Catholic, but with my husband about maybe I'm not sure how many years it's been, but he decided to change to evangelical, and something in my gut just doesn't allow me. I don't want to go there. And, you know, the bad talk about the Catholic Church and the Virgin Mary, and I'm like, how can you call yourself a Christian if you discuss all these negative things? I said, my mother was very devoted to the Blessed Mother, and I was too. And I just have so much confusion in front of me. In fact, right before I called you, I was on Amazon looking for a book that would tell me, how do you know where your angels are? My angels have disappeared.
Well, Rose, can I suggest a couple things? If you want a book on angels, go to Joan Carroll Cruz, Angels and Devils. Joan Carroll Cruz, Angels and Devils. It's 3/4 angels and then 1/4 on the demons, but it's phenomenal. She did such a fine job. Behold Your Mother is another book I would recommend on the Blessed Mother by Tim Staples. And Rose, there's no accident you're listening to EWTN. Okay, there's no accident. Okay, the good Lord is you know deep in your heart, you've experienced the love and the understanding and the truth of the Catholic faith. It's very hard to walk away from something when you understand it to be true and you've experienced it. So Rose, in my humble opinion, the good Lord is calling you back home to Holy Mother Church. That's my humble opinion. I would just continue to listen to EWTN. Let it just, kind of let all the great programs and all the information, just let it sink in and let it reinforce what you already know to be true. I would encourage you to go to CatholicsComeHome.org, CatholicsComeHome.org. They have phenomenal resources there. But Rose, there's no accident. And you sharing your story about your son carrying Psalm 91, it's the military prayer. The police, first responders, military, so many have carried Psalm 91 in their wallets, on their backpack, on their uniform. They pinned it to their uniform. They've done all sorts of things. And people have told just amazing stories of how they were saved because they believed in the truth of the angels. It's the truth of our faith. It's in the Catechism of the Catholic Church around paragraph 330. You can read all about it. And it's very, very important that we understand that we do have this heavenly assistance on this road. We need this heavenly assistance. We're up against a lot of things. And Rose, I just believe, honestly, I kind of think the show today was for you to call in. So I'm so glad you did. And I hope and pray you continue to listen, and you would definitely call us again. It says first-time listeners, so that means first-time caller. I hope you call again, Rose, and tell us how things are progressing in your faith walk on this. And I thank you so much for saying yes to the Spirit. Wow. You guys, we're getting ready to close the show, and we have pretty much almost full phone lines. Carol in Ohio, Mike in Philadelphia. I tried to get to you. You're welcome to call back. We have Unscripted at the end of the month. You can call back and share your angel stories. This is such an important topic. I'll add it again for February because I think it's important that we share it far and wide with the entire world about the truth of the angels. And for the rest of the calls and comments coming in, thank you so much. You're doing such a great work. You guys are the catechists, so you're helping other souls. Think about it. Getting closer to God. This is amazing work we're doing here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie and you. So tomorrow we're talking about my plan versus God's way. Ooh, that's going to be an interesting topic tomorrow. Thank you so much to Michael, our producer, Matt on the phones, Rich on social media. Thank you to all the affiliates that carry Take Two Live. God bless you for all the hard work that you're doing. And until tomorrow, have a beautiful and blessed day. We'll see you real soon.
Ave Maria in the afternoon with Dr. Marcus Peter, an engaging take on the church, culture, and current events.
Hi, I'm Marcus Peter. Tune in weekdays from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern as we examine the world around us, past and present, through the lens of faith from the heart of the church. So join me in conversation with our guests and call in with your questions.
Ave Maria in the afternoon with Dr. Marcus Peters.